All right, welcome. I'm here with Zack Johnson of Visier. Zack, how you doing?
I'm super psyched. It's like first business trip in 18 months. It's just good to be here with you.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic to be here. Last time we saw one another, we were in a bagel shop in Chicago. Yeah.
Bagel shop in Chicago, 7:30 in the morning. That's what I call a meeting, man. I miss those.
Yeah, I miss those too. And here we are. We're able to do it again somewhat. And lots changed over the past couple years. However, some things are the same. Visier is a leader in the people analytics space. You've been doing a lot of work in embedded analytics.
Yeah.
It's been ticked up significantly. So can you speak to that, your role at Visier and what you're focused on right now?
Yeah, of course. So I think one of the things that's really unique about Visier is we do a lot as a company. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of all the stuff we do. And so what's crazy is that we really, the most unique thing about the company is we've built, I think, the only end-to-end business intelligence platform on the planet designed fully around the employee lifecycle, from pre-hire to retire. And a lot goes into that. There's the hosting, there's the data management, there's ETL, there's metric descriptions, there's definitions, all these things. And it's a really deep product that's also really broad. But what was interesting was a few years ago, other HR vendors started coming out saying, hey, our customers are asking for analytics, a lot like the analytics we hear that you provide and do a pretty good job at, but they're expensive to build. It's hard to do it in a reasonable time frame. Customers weren't satisfied, and then at the end of the day, you can only charge so much for it, so you're just burning a lot of cash and not able to make it work. And they're like, could you maybe do this for us? Yeah. And so my role at Visier is I now lead our embedded analytics business, which fast forward now, we're powering analytics for 6 vendors in the HR space, which is growing, it's rapidly expanding, but for over 9,000 customers. And so I always like to say, picture like a cake with a bunch of layers, right? Like you have your data warehousing layer, your ETL layer, all these different layers. Our enterprise customers buy the whole cake. They get all the big solution. Our embedded customers buy a slice. You don't need the full application to embed in your payroll solution or to embed in your applicant tracking solution, but you do need all the layers. And so we've created a really unique business around this where we're helping some of the best brands in the world complement their terrific solutions with a really high quality analytics product experience.
It excites me on so many levels because, number one, organizations have all these technologies all over the place, and we go down on the expo hall floor and every company down there almost has a analytics value proposition. So from an enterprise perspective, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of decisions to be made, and what I'm hearing you're doing is you're simplifying that decision-making process, and you're having some of these vendors represent the analytics capability with a truly substantive, is that the right word? Substantive.
Yeah, substantive, yeah.
A product. Is that the essence of it? Is that you're seeing some risk along the way?
Yeah, and one of the things I think that a lot of people, so analytics is an easy word with a lot behind it. And I actually, one of the things that's really unique about Visier is if you look at 90% of the products at HR Tech, the ones that have analytics value props are actually data science value props. In data science, that's the sexy stuff. Right? It's the killer machine learning algorithm or the recommendation engine or whatever. And that stuff's important and it's great. But it's also a Formula One car. Mm-hmm. Yep. We're in the business of selling M3s, which is super high performance, but we can still make and sell a lot of them. They work for a lot of different people. And so what's really unique is when you think about business intelligence isn't the sexy stuff. We have machine learning algorithms, we have data science elements in our platform, but business intelligence is how do you clean data? Where do you host it? How do you deal with data sovereignty? How do you deal with multiple data jurisdictions? How do you make sure that the wrong person doesn't see the wrong data at the wrong time and cause a legal issue for your company because they never were supposed to see what someone was paid or how old they were or something like that? That stuff's not sexy. But customers need that to be safe and to trust their solutions. And so I think that's something too where everyone sets out to do the cool stuff, but they get slowed down when there's a lot of work that goes into making it beautiful.
So it's not only substantive, it's mitigating risks that don't happen. So you don't have yahoos like myself 20 years ago running around saying, oh, look, I can do that, I can do that.
Well, it's fun, man. And the yahoos, I was a yahoo too. We built the market, right? But the world's changed. New GDPR guidance comes out Monday, and so you've got, or goes into effect Monday. And so it's just the cowboy stuff doesn't work anymore because people know what they want to do with the data. And we put a lot of work into understanding that environment, creating technical controls to be effective in that environment, and then pass that forward to our customers and partners, both in the embedded business and the enterprise business.
I love it, and there's a lot to obviously explore on this whole narrative of embedded analytics.
Yeah.
But in our time today, just two other quick things. Number one, everything that you're talking about when you talk about transparency and how data is going to be used downstream, it presents ethical challenges. Should we be doing this?
Yeah.
And I know Visier has led the charge around People Intelligence Alliance. So why do you think that's important?
I think it's important, and it's funny. I've worked in people analytics for 15 years, and I'm not an analytical guy. I don't really like analytics that much. I don't like all the work that goes into it. I like shooting from the hip. I like intuition. I like people. Like, I like work because I like people. I love motivating people and hiring people and a whole bunch of stuff. Analytics is never going to replace intuition. It's never going to do it. But intuition applied with analytics the right way could transform the world and how people work with people. And I believe in that future where I have to do zero work, but I can be fed insights constantly that make me better at what I do and help me make the right decision and help me avoid errors of omission and all sorts of stuff. And so I see a lot of good with that. And I think I align with the Visier team because we value that it can be good. But we also are acutely aware that data can be used haphazardly, it can be used inappropriately, you can use it to justify terrible decisions. And so I think there's a stewardship. We have responsibility, we have a huge amount of responsibility to be stewards of the market we're building because it changes people's lives. And so the PIA is huge because there's no one company that owns the consumer web, right? And the future of management is going to be thousands of companies. If we can create a space for companies to have tough discussions, I think we can create a much better chance that people analytics is overwhelmingly good for employees, managers, executives, and investors, as opposed to a world where one of those categories wins and the other ones lose.
Yeah, I love what you're saying. It's very true because we have these multitude of systems, and how do we prioritize among those systems? There's arguably now too much data, a lot of noise, and so how do you synthesize that so you can elevate the highest priorities to affect the change around DE&I, around culture, obviously well-being, given what's happening with remote workplace. So I celebrate what you're doing, and I'm a fan. So
thanks for being a part of it, and thanks for helping to build a market, right? It's funny being at HR Tech after everyone kind of missed it last year, right? Everyone missing each other in person. And, people ask all the time, who are your competitors? It's go to your local store and buy People Analytics. I don't care which company it is. We're building a phenomenal market that's going to be a huge opportunity for every brand in HR. And it's way bigger than HR. Yeah. It's just HR holds the missing piece that everyone outside of HR doesn't have, which is we know who's doing the work, how much they're paid, how do they advance and move, what are they good at, what do the people think of them. We have that data. Everyone else has the operational data to figure out the outcomes, but no one can take that from the HR community. And so we have to really work together to make sure we fit into that new world really well. It's important.
Yeah, and as companies think about the future of work and how to get from point A to point B, they're formulating work strategies in new ways. Should it be done by employees or contractors or outsourced providers? Should robotic automation come in? So the way work is designed and how those decisions are made around people is shifting. So
totally.
What I'm hearing is Visier is going to help facilitate that and other solutions, to your point, whatever people have a vendor, but it's going to have to do the base elements of what analytics is, but it's also going to have to reduce risk that things aren't done improperly, which leads into my final question. What excites you about the next 6 to 12 months? COVID's kind of put us in a start and stop situation. Are we returning to the workplace? Are we going to get together? And this is like you, first time together. But what do you see on the horizon that excites you?
I'm excited because it's inevitable now. The market's here. It's going to continue to explode. If Visier imploded and we disappeared, the market would still happen. It would happen slower, and people need People Analytics, so it would be really sad. But it's going to happen. We've built it, and markets are they're like water, right? Some markets are lakes, right? Some markets are oceans, Right now, the people analytics market it's a river, and we're flowing really quickly into the ocean. We can help people navigate that, and it's very exciting.
Hey, thanks for sharing. Super
What an
appreciate
absolute
it.
pleasure to see you, man.
It's
Thank you for
exciting.
having
We
me.
got together again. And just so everybody knows, we've been social distancing. We just took our masks off for this interview. So.
Yeah, it's going back on now.
But thanks for listening. All right, be well.
Cheers.